But it was very interesting. The last large election before the presidential election in less than a year, so it was really an opportunity to take really the temperature in the country and see the big trends ahead of this crucial election next year. And while Marine Le Pen's far-right party, the Rassemblement National, was polling and doing really well in this election and gaining some momentum and legitimacy before this crucial race, they actually did much worse than expected. That was really the surprise of the night. While they came ahead in 6 regions in the last regional election, 2015, they came ahead only in one region this time around. That was in the Provence-Alpes-Côte d'Azur region. Even there, it's unknown for now whether they can win in the second round of the election next week, and they've lost ground in most regions there. So it was really a setback for Marine Le Pen's party. That was really the big surprise of the night. Another surprise was that the centre-right party held pretty well, and a few contenders for the centre-right, potentially for the presidential election, have done very good scores in their own regions. Now we have 3 names that are floating around as potential contenders for the big race next year. We have Valérie Pécresse, Xavier Bertrand and Laurent Wauquiez, names that we will hear much more because they've done really well in those elections. Surely they will position themselves, and the race heating up between these 3 candidates to potentially be a centre-right candidate in the presidential election, given their good results here in the regional ones. As you said, La République En Marche, President Macron's party, did very poorly, and that's not a surprise. They have done poorly locally. They're still a one-man band very much. They lack this grassroots movement, these local networks that the traditional parties still have, and they've done quite poorly in this election. But even though President Macron himself is still quite popular, 40% of positive opinion, that's much higher than some of his predecessors at this point of the presidency, his party is still failing to have these local wins there. And finally, one of the most concerning points of the results last night was a very low turnout, just above 30%. So that's really raising questions of why so few people came to the vote, in particular young voters. So that's why it's hard to really read the results and try to draw some conclusions from this result for presidential election, where usually the turnout is close to 80%. But we see certainly some surprises there. And while the most likely scenario for the presidential election is still to have Marine Le Pen against President Macron, the 2 parties actually did badly in this regional election, it looks like it's not a foregone conclusion, and that if the centre-right managed to gather around a single candidate, they could get a good chance. So things have gone much more complicated for Macron and Le Pen, and things much more interesting for the campaign ahead.